If you ain't talking money, then I don't want to talk.
Still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Tell them still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slam.
Hey, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Welcome, this is your boy We-On-Loc, and we are here for another WWE ranting, because I'm going to be on my rant today, and I'm going to wait for a partner of mine, a brother from another mother, show up and get into this here topic. You know what I'm saying? Yeet. Speaking of yeeting. Yes, and I am talking about this man. If I could get my screen up the park. I am talking about this man, Jey Uso. Jey Uso is about to become World Heavyweight Champion. World Heavyweight Champion. And all I hear in the comment section and in other people's live streams is they like to tear this dude down. All because he did what? A couple of botches here and there? Relax. Relax, my guys. It's just a couple of, everybody does botches. Shawn Michaels at one point did some botches. Rey Mysterio did some botches. Let's talk about some of the girls. Nia Jax has done some botches. Naomi has done some botches. Everybody has done botches where they slip and fall, or they throw themselves off over the top rope and they miss, or they hit something. It's not a big deal. It is not a big effing deal. And what I don't get is this man, every time he draws a crowd, every time he enters an arena, the crowd gets into it. The crowd totally gets into it. I don't know how you can get it. I don't know how he's not a world champion by now. He won the right because he won the Royal Rumble. But everywhere that I've heard, everywhere that I've gone, they often say the same exact thing. He is not worthy of a gold belt. He's more better suited as a tag team guru with his brother Jimmy. They've been tag teaming for 14 years. Excuse me, 13. He's only been a single wrestler for what? 2 years? And ever since that time, he's won Intercontinental Champion. When you win the Intercontinental belt, right? When you win the Intercontinental belt, that says what? You have to go higher. No one said anything when LA Knight won the US belt. No one said anything, which I like. Me personally, I like LA Knight. I like LA Knight because he reminds me so much of Stone. He reminds me so much of Stone Cold in the sense when it comes to his promos, when it comes to his dialogue, when it comes to his delivery. I wouldn't have said anything if he were to win the Intercontinental belt, but the way the booking is right now is pathetic, and I will agree with that. But the one thing I do not agree with is people giving their rant, if they would, that Jey Uso is not the one to win the World Heavyweight belt, let alone the Universal belt. Now, the Universal belt carries more of a heavy weight. Is more meant for a heavyweighter. But I wouldn't be surprised, because guess what? Cody Rhodes, to me, is not a heavyweight. But I'm getting sick and tired of everybody playing about Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes can't do this. Cody Rhodes can't do that. Cody Rhodes can't do this. Cody Rhodes can't do that. Jey Uso can't do this. Jey Uso can't do that. Jey Uso can't do this. Jey Uso can't do that. Jey Uso botches up a whole bunch of wrestling moves. Jey Uso only has 3 wrestling moves. Excuse me, 4. He has the splash, which he needs to get rid of. He has the spear, which everybody has the spear. Roman has the spear. Braun Breaker, who is worthy of having that spear. Bill Goldberg had the spear. Rhino had the spear. Right? Almost forgot. Wait, Jimmy and Jay, they both have the spear. But I'm not gonna denigrate, guys. I'm not gonna downplay what this man has done. So by all means, do me a favor and leave this man alone. Let him win this belt, because he is overdue for winning a world championship. It's not WrestleMania winnable. Who said? The arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, which I know it's going to be in where the Las Vegas Raiders play. I forgot what arena that was, but they're going to be there. It's going to be sold out. It's going to be impactful, and it's going to be the exact same way when Jey Uso's music hits. Everybody is going to be eating all over the place, which I predict is going to be a sold-out event. These tickets are way too expensive. These tickets are way, way too expensive. Like damn near $600 to like $3,000 expensive for you not chanting yeet to the yeet master. Now, I will say, as I said last week, he's going to have to switch up. He has 24 days to come up with some better move sets. Leave that splash, or keep it in your repertoire, but just add like a submission move. I will go for a cross-face chicken wing or something. Some type of submission move that'll get Gunter get something to get Gunter thinking, right? Get something to get Gunter thinking. Because one thing I do know for certain, Gunter is no slouch. To me, Gunter is useless, but he's one of the old school wrestlers. I will give him that. He's one of these old school, take no prisoner type of wrestlers. But his reign as champion is way overdue. His reign as champion is way overdue. And I would have to say, if Jey Uso does not win this belt, if Jey Uso does not win this belt, then you have no other choice but to go back to tag team status, because look what's waiting on him, the Street Profits. And shouts out to the Street Profits. If Montel's for him to get winning their tag team belts. Shouts out to Montez Ford for finally, after 5 years, winning tag team gold. But I don't want him to go backwards. I want him to go forward. Let him win it for a couple of times and let him be done with it. Now, to getting back to the match that I seen with him tag teaming with his brother, which obviously I knew it was going to happen. Jimmy came down. Jay came down the aisle, paused there for a minute, and who came right after him? Jimmy. So they both went down there, and they were facing Waller and some other guy, I forgot. But needless to say, they won their match. And as they were yeeting the crowd, Jimmy gets dragged to the side by Gunther. Gunther attacks Jay, of course. They need to do this. They need to do away with this. They need to do away, because it's like this every week. I agree. This shit is like this every single week. Every single week. Every single week, Gunther attacks him, beats him up, and then when he gets overwhelmed, he runs away. Is that a heart of a champion? Or is that a heart of a heel? And then, of course, Jay's sitting on the steps. Jimmy finds him sitting on the steps and has a heart-to-heart with his brother. He has a heart-to-heart with his brother. And then after he's done talking, he goes around the corner and finds Gunther there, and he challenges Gunther this coming week on SmackDown. And he runs up at the mouse and says, "Sure, as long as you don't, slip off the ropes like your brother did." And lo and behold, the spit slap heard around the world. Jimmy delivers what I agree to be one of the greatest bit slaps I have ever heard in my entire life of wrestling. Although I've heard, what up, Young? I've heard Shawn Michaels, he did it to RVD, and then RVD slapped him back. But that was one of the incredible bit slaps I have ever heard in my life come from Jimmy. And then he walks off. But I just get sick and tired of the ranting of Jay. All he does is botch his moves. All he does is, get in over with the crowd. Pretty soon that's gonna slow down to a crawl. No, it ain't. No, it is not. Because if he could do it in many different ways. What is the hatred for Jimmy Uso? What is the hatred for a man who deserves championship gold, who is way over with the crowd, who is top 3 in merch, in selling merch? I think the first one is Roman Reigns. Second one is in OTC. I think second one is CM Punk. Third one is Jey Uso, or it could be Jey Uso second. CM Punk third. He sells merch. He laughs and smiles with the kid. He's yeeting I don't want to say. I'm just gonna say the gifted. I'll just say the gifted. And like he deserves this. Now let him win him a couple of times and then be done with it, right? Because right now, you could have given it to LA Knight. You could have given it back to Seth Rollins. Hell, you could have given it to I'm botching right now. But let me get to I never did this before. But let me get to a Pacific clip. Let's see. Because like I said, the hatred for Jey Uso is surreal. The hatred for Jey Uso is surreal. But I would just like to know, what would you like for him to do? What would you like for him to do? Go back to being a wrestler? What would you like for him to do? He can't go backwards. He can only go forwards. Jey Uso, you're trash. Jey Uso sucks. Jey Uso sucks badly. Last time I checked, he's good with the mic. I didn't say he was great. I said he was good with the mic. Jimmy's a little better when it comes at the mic. Jay's a little better when it comes to the performance. Both of them are good. But I never said he was great. He's good at performance. He's good at the mic. He's good at wrestling moves. I believe the criteria is entertainment. So if you can get over with the crowd, if you can cut a promo, and if you can wrestle good, that's vows for getting over and getting championship gold, in my opinion. I don't know what else to tell you after that. I do not know what else to tell you after that. I mean, this is bonehead crazy. It is quite funny. You would never tell Jey Uso. Well, let me not go there with Jimmy quite just yet, because he deserves at least U.S. gold. He deserves a U.S. title. But here's the thing about that. You got other people in the weights of winning U.S. gold. You have other people in the weights of winning the Intercontinental belt, the IC belt. So you want him to go back? You want him to go back to winning IC gold? Whatever happened to not going backwards and going forwards? You people sound crazy. You people sound utterly codeine crazy. Let that man win gold.
What is it about Jey Uso that you guys love so much? He's not great. He's not good at anything. The feud between him and Gunther is boring. All they do is brawl. There's no story. I'm gonna beat you like a dog, Jey Uso. Uso, I'm gonna beat you like a dog. Like, that's basically it. That's the story. That's really the story.
Is it my fault that Triple H, aka Hunter Hearst Helmsley, aka Paul Levesque, cannot book a good storyline? Cannot put together a good storyline? Whose fault is this? This is not Jay's fault. All day Jay is supposed to do is show up. And he shows up every single night, every single event, every single dark match he shows up to. He's tired. His dad says he looks tired. That's what happens when you start eating. That's what happens when you interact with the crowd. That's what happens when you run up and down. He'll get it together. But the thing is, he's hurt. He's banged up. There are rumors that Gunther is banged up, even though he doesn't wrestle much. He just wrestled dark matches, and I heard he got allegedly hurt in a dark match. But that's the difference between the Vince McMahon era and the Triple H era. Vince McMahon, you probably won't even Jey Uso's name would probably not be mentioned in the same breath as a Seth Rollins, at the same breath as a Shawn Michaels, in the same breath as even a Undertaker or Kane, he wouldn't be mentioned. He would not be mentioned. Even CM Punk at the time would be way over than Jey Uso, in my opinion. But the tables have turned. His merch is selling off the racks. His dolls are selling off the racks. His clothing line is selling off the racks. Everybody's yeeting everywhere that they go. Everywhere that he goes, they are yeeting for this man. So I don't know what the problem is.
Beat you up. That's the story, really? It's boring, man. It's tiring. It's just like there's so many other people that deserve an opportunity. And yes, the Samoans are great. Like I have nothing against Samoans, but that doesn't mean every Samoan has to be at the top of the card. There's other people who deserve chances, like Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins. Both of them can be single competitors. They don't look like tag team guys, right? And the Usos.
They don't look like tag team guys. The Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins, and Montez Ford are not tag team guys. You see what I mean with wrestlers who are not in tune into wrestling the way that they should be? You would never say that about the Legion of Doom. You would never say that about the Rockers. You would never say that about the Bushwhackers. You would never say that about at that point in time Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and I think it was Montez at the time. I forgot who it was. You would never say anything about any of those guys. When it was time for Shawn Michaels to let go of Marty Jannetty, he did. And look how successful he's been throughout the years. Now he's over there on NXT being a general manager. You would never say anything remotely about the Harlem Heat with Booker T and Stevie Ray. You would never say anything about that. How they're not good tag team wrestlers. So I would like to know if Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford are not good tag team wrestlers, but let me guess, Theory and Hummer, whatever his name is, they are, right? They're on their way out the door. They don't present any type of pop. They don't give no pop. Their promos are weak. They can't wrestle good. But Jimmy Uso does one thing bad, two things bad in two different episodes, and all of a sudden he's no good. He's tired. I love Rikishi. I respect Rikishi. I respect the Usos. I really do. I respect the Samoans. I love the Samoans. The Rock, Roman, the Usos. At one point, Superfly Jimmy Snuka, Tatanga, all of them cats. I love them all. But this has to be a stepping stone for one of the guys who is going to bring the title home. Otherwise, you're gonna treat it just like you're treating Jimmy Uso now. You might as well treat that with every Samoan. Just because The Rock is this big bad figure now. Because he can cut a good promo. He wrestles good. He's in good with the crowd. But so is Jimmy. Again, his promos can be better. His conditioning can be better. But that's all we expect. Give the guy a shot. Give the guy a shot. Let Braun Breaker or him or LA Knight challenge him for the title, and let them, and by all means let them win it, but he has to win it this one time at least. No, he has to win it a couple of times at least, because you have nobody else. What you gonna get? Romello? Romello will get his ass whooped. But Romello deserves U.S. gold. He doesn't deserve a IC belt quite just yet. Are you gonna give it to CM Punk? I would appreciate it if you give it to CM Punk. They don't have no issues. But again, that would be putting babyface against babyface, and I don't think you will want that. I don't think you will want that at all.
Those were tag team guys. They don't look like single stars. That's the difference. Montez Ford looks like a star. Jey Uso looks like a regular guy. You know what I mean? And it's not like he has charisma. He has no charisma.
What?
Montez Ford has charisma. He has in-ring ability, and he looks apart.
So does Jey Uso. What? Just because they do him and Jimmy do the exact same moves, he can switch up. But he has 24 days to do it. WrestleMania is around the corner, and I don't think he want to be stuck doing the same old moves and they get countered, and all of a sudden he gets beat for the fourth time in a row. But he wouldn't do no better if he were to go up against Cody. Now Cody would probably put up a fight and possibly turn heel. Possibly, maybe. I don't know why they have John Cena do it. John Cena, I don't see John Cena. Well, John Cena is good with the mic. He's good with his promos. He's good with his wrestling. So what he's doing now, he's pretty much getting over as a heel. And speaking of heels, shouts out to my baby Naomi. Naomi, if you know me. When she came out, interfered in Jay Cargill's match while she was basically whooping little old Morgan's ass, I was like floored. I was so hyped. I said, I usually don't rep heels that much, but Naomi, she's good. She's good for it. I mean, she came out looking fly. She came out looking caution, you damn right, caution. And caution, I caution. Let me stay on script. Anyway, let this boy cook. I look at the crowd, and I look at 188,000 people chanting and yeeting. You best damn right he's gonna win U.S. gold. But like I said, if you were to get in on Cody Rhodes and Cody Rhodes were to beat him, or he were to beat Cody Rhodes rather, Cody Rhodes will probably turn heel at that point. But we don't want our good guy, our good American nightmare in Cody Rhodes, Mr. Stardust himself, turning heel right away. This is insane.
If you look apart, you have charisma, and you're good in the ring, you're a star. That's a future star. I can't even say future anymore because he's in his like mid-30s now. But they rather push Jey Uso, who's in his, I think he's like 40, or he's about to be 40. You just now want to push Jey Uso, who's not going to get any better. Jey Uso is only going to get worse.
He just turned 40. 40, that's, I believe Michael Jordan was 40 when he was in his prime. That would be pretty much the time. That would be pretty much the time to say the time is now. Let's win gold now. Let's win it now. while we still have an opportunity. I don't understand it with these wannabe commentators, man.
He's only gonna get worse in the ring. He's only gonna get older, guys. But we're gonna now push Jey Uso. It makes no sense. We have so much people on this roster that we don't want to push. But we want to push old people and people who aren't good. Like, it makes no sense. Like, the only person that I'll be like, oh yeah, Triple H pushed and made him a star, I don't know if he's really a star, is Damian Priest. That's the only guy that he really made into a legit champion, I'll say.
You had a problem with Damian Priest winning gold. He doesn't come out anything extravagant. He doesn't come out with any good promos. He's not even good inside the ring. He is nothing but a jobber. He's nothing but a jobber. He's nothing but a jobber. Y'all need to make up your minds of what y'all want. We want good, solid, pro wrestlers. Like bring back Bill Goldberg. Bill Goldberg is damn near is what 60 years old. We'll bring back Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar doesn't want to wrestle anymore. He's good at where he's got money. He's good where he's at. I mean, you let some wrestlers go that nearly could push your roster up, or could push the bank up. But ever since you've been on Netflix, your ratings have been dropping a lot, and you've been losing over $3 billion in a span of a couple of months. It is not Jey Uso's fault that Jey Uso can't get the proper opponent. I wouldn't be surprised if him and Braun Breaker get at it again. Hell, I see them all the time when they're off camera, when they're in the gym, just getting their workout on, just getting it in. Maybe you can get them two involved, but then again, we don't know if Braun Breaker's a heel or if Braun Breaker's a babyface. We don't know. This is the reason why I said in the first place that Triple H doesn't know how to book a good storyline. He doesn't. He just doesn't.
But Jey Uso is not it, man. Like, you can compare Jey Uso and Damian Priest. There's a reason why Damian Priest is taken more serious by the fans. And yes, people still probably don't like Damian Priest, but I think it's safe to say Damian Priest is better than Jey Uso, right? Better wrestler, at least. He's more, you can take him more serious.
That doesn't make any sense. How is Jey Uso not being taken serious from the fans when the boy is pretty much over, and every time he yeets, the whole crowd yeets with him? There was only one city that the crowd was just merely dead, and I think they were in some type of country. My apologies. I think they were in France, and there were only a few more than usual. I think it was France. Don't quote me on that. But everywhere that he goes, he can go to Moscow, he can go to Peru, he can go to Berlin, and the crowd would easily chant for him, just like they chant for everybody else. If they can chant John Cena sucks and tell him to shut the F up real loud, Jey Uso's in the bag for me.
I can't take Jey serious. Jey's for little kids, man. Let him be U.S. champion, right? Let him be IC champion. For him to be in the main card, it really is hurting the WWE. And this is my opinion. Obviously, everyone thinks differently. But if you're really backing Jey Uso, you're backing the wrong horse. You want mediocrity. Fuck it. Like, you know what I mean? Also,
Why don't we just have Austin Theory win the belt? Why don't we just have him win the belt? I get it. Why don't we have Romello win the belt? We could just have a Romello win the belt, and I would have to admit he should be well overdue to win some type of belt. But for Jimmy not to win any gold, not to win the world champion gold, you're crazy. You are insane. And again, this is entertainment. When you can entertain the fans this way, when you can cut a decent promo, at least a decent promo, which we have to say nowadays, not everybody can cut a decent promo. Not everybody can cut a promo. I mean, this is not like The Rock, or this is not like Stone Cold. This is not like The Undertaker. This is not like Shawn Michaels. And this is definitely not like Bret the Hitman Hart. This is none of those things. Sting cuts great promos. Goldberg never cut a damn promo. All he did was talk, which that's fine. That's fine. That's great. That's wonderful. But again, if you're not somebody like a John Cena going up against The Rock, and both of them just going on and off script, the way that they do and how they draw the crowd. Of course, Jey Uso does not fit that narrative. His brother Jimmy does a little bit better than him, but the way he draws a crowd with his presence should be enough for people. But obviously, the two botches, one where he jumped off the top rope and he accidentally landed wrong. Oh, or when the time he tried to do a spear and he accidentally slipped and fall. Everybody does botches. It's on the freaking internet if you just look.
Austin Theory. I would rather have Austin Theory in Jey Uso's position, the guy that he squashed, you know? And this, it's the problem throughout the whole WWE. Every brand, it doesn't matter. Well, NXT, not NXT. But SmackDown, Cody Rhodes has been a horrible champion, and he's had the championship for over a year, with only probably one good feud that I can remember against Kevin Owens, which wasn't good. Good is like very, very, I'm being very generous saying it's good. All right? Like, it's crazy. If you have one good feud in a year, it's insane to me. Like, why is he champion? No one should have the title for over a year if they're not entertaining, if they're not consistently bringing you matches.
I will agree with that. I will agree that if you are very, very boring, and I have to admit that Cody Rhodes is just that, very boring, but yet this is who you gave the belt to. This is who you gave the belt to. This is who you got over, and this is who you let write his story. But now it's like everybody's complaining about Cody Rhodes, you know, just doing several defensive title matches in the past 320 days. Or not 320 days. What am I talking about? What was it? 100. Let's just say 130 days. I'm wrong again. Let's just say for the last almost 1 year, he's only done a certain amount of matches, the least amount of matches in less than a year. The way the audience is going at Jimmy Uso, he probably will win the belt, but he probably won't sustain the belt for at least a couple of months. That will be disappointing in itself. That would be very disappointing if he just all of a sudden won the title and could not keep it for at least 5 months. For at least 5 months.
You know, and you know, Gunther IC's Intercontinental Champion reign was great. I don't know why I said IC and Intercontinental, but you know what I mean. Like his title reign was great in the mid card. It was because he had good opponents. He had good matches. He went against Sheamus. He went against Drew McIntyre. There was guys he was going against that made it good. For this heavyweight title, the only person that like I can remember is Damian Priest. That's it.
Gunter should have had the title. He should have dropped the belt when he fought Randy Orton. But I don't know. Something went wrong, and he ended up keeping the belt. Oh, his leg went out. Randy Orton's leg went out, and then it just gave him the opportunity to beat Randy Orton. But Randy Orton was way due for a title shot, for a title, getting the title and having a title reign himself. But now that you're about to give it up to Jey Uso, you're about to give up the belt to Jey Uso, and I hope somebody like a Kevin or Randy Orton or somebody comes by and challenges him for the belt. And I hope he comes up with a new concept of himself. I hope he comes out with new moves. I just hope he comes out with at least 1 or 2 new moves. I want to thank everybody who's been yeeting for the whole crowd has been yeeting for him. The commentaries have been yeeting for him. Right?
And Finn Balor and Triple Threat. That's literally it. Like, I can't remember any other good feud that Gunther's had. It's crazy as champion. It's a problem. That's a problem. And that's booking. Like, Gunther is not bad. Like, yes, Gunther's in his 40s and they're just now pushing him, which sucks. I'd rather us push someone younger. But, it's Gunther. I don't.
That's the problem with wrestling fans. They want everybody young to have that experience. Anybody mid, like somewhere around, if you're pushing 35, you should be on the top right now. There should be no excuse for you not to be on top. But if you hit 40, it's a problem. What's going on? Dude, you pay money to go see your wrestler or wrestlers. You chant for those that you redeem worthy of chanting, and you boo those who redeem worthy of booing. But either way, bad, good, babyface, or heel, these guys come out aimed up, tired, and they got to go to the next town, and they got to do it all over again. Your appreciation sucks. Your appreciation for the WWE sucks.
I don't mind Gunther. Okay? He is boring, but I don't mind him, right? It's the booking. Like, the booking can make Gunther an interesting character. But the booking, as of lately, not even as of lately, this past year, ever since 2025 as a whole, the booking has been horrible. So, hopefully there can be some improvements. But with Triple H at the reign, I don't think there will. And I just think the fans are so easily pleased and are so easily, shocked, right? They think that Jacob Fatu is great at promos or something. Like, I see a lot of comments, wow, Jacob Fatu is so good at promos. Oh my god. He is not good at promos. He says the same shit every week. I'm a dog walk your ass. Hell, I'm King Kong. Hell, I'm Godzilla. Hell, he says the same shit every week.
What do you expect him to say? The man is fresh off the boat, pretty much. But Jacob Fatu draws a crowd. When are we going to ever get to the point where if certain people draws a crowd? And let's go to I don't know anybody in the women's division. Neil Sky sucks. Neil Sky sucks at promos. But yet, she's the world women's champion. Because she beat Rhea Ripley 2 weeks ago and is deserving of defending her title against Bianca Belair, even though Neil Sky Rhea Ripley is getting her rematch. next week, with Bianca Belair being the guest referee. This is crazy.
It's not good. It's not. Now let's talk about John Cena and Cody Rhodes. I don't even want to talk about John Cena's promo because I don't even know what it was about. He basically said he hates the fans now, that we suck or whatever, and he's sad. He worked his ass off for 20 years and we didn't give anything to him. That's basically why he turned. That's basically why he turned, is because we never gave anything to him. But he joined the wrestling business and he became a huge actor because of the fans. So, but no, yeah, we did nothing. That makes so much sense. Great writing there. But I guess he's supposed to be like a hypocrite. I don't care. I really don't understand the story at all, right? And then Cody comes out, calls him a bitch, and then runs away. Cody,
He said more than that, but I have to admit, I was about 10 seconds. I was about 10 seconds away 3 weeks ago from just saying, Cody, you absolutely suck. But when he came out there and he said, Rock, go F yourself, and the crowd just popped. And then he comes out, this last week, he comes out, right? And he just calls John Cena a bitch and then walks off. I'm like, you're trying to keep over with the fans. Not only that, you're trying to keep the belt. By going through all that, you're trying to keep the belt. But I'm pretty much with you.
Let me say that again. Cody Rhodes comes out, calls John Cena a bitch, then immediately runs away. I'm sorry, man. I'm not waiting 4 weeks for John Cena to come here for there to be no confrontation. You're going to call him a bitch and then run? Stay in that ring and have a promo battle with John Cena. That's what I want to see.
It wouldn't fly, even though Cody Rhodes is a little bit seasoned on the mic. John Cena will rip him to shreds if he really, really wanted to. But I'm just saying, it was better than what a Roman Reigns used to be. Roman Reigns, to me, doesn't cut awesome promos because it took John Cena to tell him to say, in order for you to be a good wrestler, you got to cut good promos. And ever since then, he's been average. But he's over with the crowd because all he has to do is say these words, acknowledge me. Because he's won gold. He's won gold. I don't know. I pretty much said what I said. But let it continue.
You know what I mean? Like that's what elevates a feud. When we had The Rock coming at Seth Rollins, The Rock coming at Cody Rhodes, that was cinema. That was great television. This is a TV show at the end of the day. Right? We want drama. We want beef. We don't want, you're a bitch, and then runs out. Like, Cody Rhodes, get your bitch. I just want to smack Cody Rhodes' ugly ass, bro. Oh my god. Yeah, it's gonna be the end of the video, man. Drop a like if you like the video.
The one thing I will say, it's not the WWE of old anymore. It used to be WWF, but due to contract disputes and Vince McMahon getting sued, they had to put it as E for entertainment. It's not the old anymore. There are no Shawn Michaels versus Bret the Hitman Hart anymore. There is no Triple H versus The Rock, Stone Cold versus Triple H. There's none of those things anymore. The Undertaker versus Kane. None of those. Unfortunately, I hate to say his name, but there are no Chris Benoits anymore. There are no Stings anymore. Sting's retired. Sting is retired, and good for him. He should be retired. He went over to AEW and did a service. That's what he's supposed to do. But he can cut good promos. Kevin Nash can cut good promos. May he rest in peace. Old machismo Scott Hall. His promos were average, but he was funny. He was very, very, very funny. Ric Flair can cut promos. Did I mention? I don't know if I mentioned Kevin Nash or not. Did I mention Kevin Nash? I think I mentioned Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash can cut some good promos, but he's not a wrestler. He's a brawler. But that's good for entertainment. Oops, did I say that word? Entertainment. CM Punk is good. Is definitely good with his promos and definitely good in rope work. But he's getting older in the tooth. I say he has a couple of years left. My. Well, I said what I said, and I said what I meant. Leave a like, leave a comment down below if you like this content. And I should be doing another wrestle. I think I might wait until next week because of the whole Neo Sky, Rhea Ripley rematch. And this is my prediction with that. Rhea Ripley wins back her title that she never lost. Yeah. And then she's going to meet what I thought should be anyway. She should be challenged for that title anyway against Bianca Belair. This is what I want to see. And then later on, Bianca Belair, I think she's hinting at turning heel. I don't know. I really don't know. But she can probably turn babyface along with, my girl Trinity, aka Naomi. Like I said, when Naomi came out and she started wailing on Jade Cargill, I don't believe all the outside noise that they say. They plan all that stuff out. I bet they sitting at the dinner table just laughing it up while putting makeup on each other. But needless to say, when they come at work, they got to put on the baby face and the heel act. They have to. It's in their contract. They have to put on that act. But like I said, I can't wait for that. And I can't wait for Jey Uso to be World Heavyweight title. All right? Peace.